Previously on Power Alternate.
6 months, Tommy, I'm out. Done. You're gonna take over the business clean. No more dirt, no more bodies.
You serious right now? You think you can just walk away, hand me the keys like it's some legit shop?
I built the doors, Tommy.
Tasha, he's gonna burn everything to the ground. Still running around with that Fed like he's untouchable. I care about him, you know that. But if he keeps dragging us into his mess, I'll put him in the ground myself.
You want to pin this whole mess on me? You think the divorce is just my fault?
Tasha, the moment you felt lonely, you ran to Sean. That's on you.
I was falling apart, James. You were gone night after night, and I was alone. I made a mistake, but I didn't leave this family.
You call it a mistake. I call it.
Dre, you said that you could lock down the ports and get product in those clubs, and you have failed. I will find someone who can. Then what happens to you?
James, there will be a heavy price to pay if your son utters a word about what we discuss here. Heavy. You understand?
It's time for you to take over the business. You hear me? This life don't reward weakness, and it sure ain't kind of women. Your mom can't run it no more.
I was built for this, Pops. I'm ready.
What up, though, YouTube? It's your boy Brillo. We back in the building as this press tour continues. Today we talking Power Alternate, episode 2. Look to the east. The episode kicks off with a meeting of the bosses. We got Alicia Jimenez meeting with Mecca. Mecca wants to open up those ports, so he gives Alicia a deal. He tells her, I'll supply you with weapons. You just make sure that you open up those ports. But Alicia is heavy pressed, so of course, she had to give Mecca some pushback. But ultimately, they came to a deal.
I need those ports. I can give you weapons. I already got rid of Jason.
Ports aren't cheap, Mecca. And Jason was a problem for you, not me.
Now, the last time we saw King Slime, he was turning off Crystal Ball's water in the warehouse, right? Because we already know that Alicia wanted to have Crystal Ball take over Dre's position in her organization. So now Dre is on the hunt to find out who is this new premier. We all know that it's Kane. So Dre's putting in a little bit of legwork, figuring out who this guy is. So he snaps a photo of him. Next, James, we know he was having a tough time in episode 1. He was back on the sauce, y'all. He was drinking. So he wakes up, had a little hangover. He wakes up and he hears on the news. This is how he finds out that Jason Mitchell is a pack, and now Ghost does not know what is going on. He's trying to figure out if he's in danger, if his people in danger, but he has a strange feeling that Tariq has something to do with this.
And now to breaking news. Search efforts continue tonight for Serbian mob boss Jason Michak, who was reported missing early this morning. The 46-year-old former...
Tariq!
He calls Tariq and they have a conversation. He tells Tariq, get up, let's go on a jog. Tariq, of course, is like, man, I don't feel like getting up. But Ghost lets him know that, you have to learn how to protect yourself. We're going to go on a jog. And then he told him some of the greatest lines of the episode. Sometimes you got to lie, Tariq. I know that you saw that I lied about, the business when it comes to your Uncle Tommy. I know you seen that I lied to him. But I ultimately was trying to convince Jason that he was indeed the right man for the job. So this was a powerful line right here, and that he told Tariq in his efforts to try to keep Tariq sheltered, but also trying to teach Tariq the game. Next, he gives Tariq his first assignment. Tariq has to go see Angela. Ghost has a plan to get from up under all of these charges and to make sure that nobody in his family goes behind bars.
Listen, Tariq, go talk to Angela. She can help us.
How can the Fed help us?
Because she knows the game. She can pull us out before this blows back on
Sounds
you.
like you're trading me off to save yourself.
No, I'm keeping you breathing. Let us set the path and you walk it.
Fine, but I'm...
Now, in this universe, as well as the OG universe, Tariq hates Angela. He cannot stand her. He feel like she messed up the family. And also, Tariq is having a little trouble with what he did to Kanan. So he's kind of having visions and nightmares of Kanan. And now he's thinking, he has to go and see Angela. And he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if Ghost's plan is going to work. He don't know to stick to the plan or go off the script. And he's having visions, and you see what it says right there. What would Kanan do?
You might have to handle this. Stop being a kid. What would Kay do? You know what you got to do, Tariq.
I know.
Now, King Slime is putting in the work. he puts his ear to the street and he goes and talks to Two-Bit, one of the most thorough characters, to find out who this Lorenzo kid is. He shows Two-Bit the picture and Two-Bit gives him the breakdown.
Who is this dude right here? I need to find him.
That's Lorenzo Tejada's boy. They call him Kane. But listen, if you move on him, you better be sure. Cross that family and they bury you quick, understand?
Next, we get a scene in Truth where Mecca finally reveals himself, reveals who he is to James St. Patrick in Truth. And we get one of the most cold-blooded scenes of episode 2 where Mecca heavy presses this man.
Tell you to do. Well, I would take everyone you ever loved and raise Jazz as my daughter. You hear me? Felipe was like a brother to me and you took him. So I don't have a problem ending you, Tariq, Tasha, or Angela. You work for me now, and you get out of this game whenever I'm ready. James, or should I say, Ghost.
So finally, Mecca has let his presence known. He hits Ghost with the heavy press and tells him, basically, you're in this game until I say you're not. You know, you eliminated Felipe, who was like a brother to me, and your first order of business is to find Kane Tejada and make sure he's in your organization. Do that. That's the first thing you do. You do whatever I tell you to do. And right now, Ghost is shook. He doesn't know what is going on. And things get worse from there, because next Tommy comes, Tommy finds out about Jason Mitchell's death, and he accuses Ghost of having Jason eliminated so that he can get out of the game. Tommy's figuring, even though James lied to me, I can convince Jason that, you know, I might have to convince Jason that I am the right man for the job.
You're a snake, Ghost. You and Tasha, Tariq, whole damn family of snakes. Maybe Raina's better off. Watch your mouth, Tommy. Truth hurts, huh? Everybody that gets near you ends up bleeding.
Scuffle ensues inside of Truth. Tommy says some pretty hurtful things. Their relationship is severely fractured at this time. Like I said, Tommy thinks that Ghost has something to do with eliminating Jason Mitchell. And, you know, he just thinks that Ghost will do anything to get out of the game, that he's in cahoots with Angela. It's just all bad for this relationship. Next, of course, Ghost has a bone to pick with his son. Why are you running your mouth so much, Tariq? Why?
Tariq, you told Tommy about Jason's plans. You put all of our lives at risk.
I was trying to fix it, Dad. I thought he'd back off.
Fix it? You just made everything worse.
And so they have this conversation, very powerful conversation. And Tariq is finally understanding, like, sometimes I got to keep my mouth shut. Like, it's pretty much that simple. What's happening? Next, Ghost has to do some recon, because let's not forget, Mecca gave him a threat, and he felt the ramifications of what could happen. So he's going around, and, you know, he goes to the Tejada bar. He asks about Kane. And, you know, Kane is not there. They look at Ghost like he's a cop or something, okay? So Ghost has to spin a block. A couple hours later, he comes back, and they're like, who is this dude that keeps coming around asking for Kane? So I hate to say it, they rough our man up a little bit. They rough Ghost up, throw his ass up out the bar. Get up out of here. You a cop. Right? So Ghost is in the blend, right? He doesn't have a way to get in touch with Kane. They think he's a cop. He's showing up at this bar. So he goes back to Truth, and Mecca is still there, and he's still pressing. You know what I'm saying? This time he say, check your accounts, James. Check your accounts. He see accounts frozen. Then, not only did he freeze the accounts, he let them know, like, look, I got Angie on candid camera right now in her apartment. Keep playing with me. You do exactly what I tell you to do. You better figure this thing out, or I'm going to do some heinous things to your sweet Puerto Rican mommy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not playing with you, James. Get Kane Tejada on board. Get him up to speed so that by the end of this year, Kane can do what I need him to do in this game. Right? So Mecca's not playing with this dude. And, of course, James knows that his accounts are frozen. Mecca already has eyes on Angela. This dude is not playing. So, of course, James has to think of something. And like you know, Ghost is going to be Ghost. And Ghost thinks of a stupendous plan, right? he goes and meets up with Zion to try to broker a deal to have a meeting with Kane. If you remember in book 2 Ghost, Zion's boxing gym or MMA gym, fight club, so to speak, that is like a Switzerland in the Power universe. It's no violence there, and everybody, has to you can't do any stupid stuff there. Like I said, it's Switzerland, so that's the perfect place to meet. And plus, Kane already knows Zion, and Kane's name is ringing bell in the streets. And in Power Book 2 Ghost, when Kane went to the fight club, they already knew who he was. So he brokers this deal, of course, and
Kane, he is not a cop.
You put your life on that? I'm supposed to trust him?
so, of course, Kane trusts Zion. So he said, you know what? This dude that been coming around. Listen, come to my bar in a couple of hours. We'll chop it up. We'll talk business. I'll see what you have to say. If Zion vouching for you, then cool. Okay, it's on the flow. Ghost is finally about to have this conversation with Kane. But, of course, when Ghost goes into the bar,
I know that's not Ghost with this Tejada kid. I need to call Alicia.
Ghost is spotted with Kane, which looks very suspicious and plays right into the hands of King Slime, aka Dre. So he lets Alicia know, and Alicia immediately thinks Lorenzo, Kane, and Ghost are playing games. She thinks they're playing games. So listen, Alicia is heavy pressed. Being who she is, she's not playing. She immediately sends that hit squad, and she tells them, listen, eliminate everybody. Eliminate Dre, eliminate James St. Patrick, aka Ghost, eliminate Kane, eliminate any of them GTG people in there, eliminate everybody. Y'all want to play with me? Eliminate everybody. And Ghost, of course, he has to go into what we like to call ghost mode.
Kane, if you want to stay alive, listen to me.
I'm listening.
Stay low. Move when I move. Keep your head down.
Now, in this gunfight, Kane gets hit, but most importantly, he's starting to look up to Ghost a little bit. He's saying like, this dude is the real deal. Ghost then got him up out of that jam. Like I said, 5 or 6 GTG dudes then got smoked, and Ghost got Kane up out of that jam real quick and took him to the underground doctor.
Every stitch feels like fire, and I'm gonna give it back to them double. They can leave me.
So Kane is getting stitched up. Next, this is a pivotal moment. Tariq finally meets Kane. So Tariq is livid. He's been calling Ghost all day. Of course, Ghost could not answer. He got a lot of shit going on, people. And he explodes on Tariq. Tells him, dog, I told you I was going to teach you the game, but I didn't tell you was my damn partner, okay? Stay in your lane, young boy. Stay in your lane. I told you what I needed you to do. Do that. So he's horsing him, and Kane just smirks a little bit, and you can see the look in Tariq's eyes. He's devastated, and he's irate that Kane, this dude that's not even that much older than me, then he's with you right now. Y'all getting into shootouts. This dude's getting badged up, and you can see the wheels are turning in Tariq, and he's like, come on, man, this is ridiculous. You're not teaching me the game. But Ghost tells him, like, dog, you're not my partner. Stay in your damn lane. And I gotta say, listen, I gotta agree with Ghost on this. Now we finally have the conversation.
My dad needs to know if you're gonna stay solid or tell him about Ray Ray.
Tariq, I haven't decided yet.
She hasn't decided yet. So Tariq, he goes to the bathroom. He's thinking, what should he do?
You have to be a man and take care of this. Ghostin can't do it.
So now we don't know what is going to happen here. Of course, Tariq being Tariq, after he does that, of course, we had to introduce Tate. Tate was introduced in this episode. Nothing much to say here. Tate is just back in effect. We may do something different with his character. Of course, Tariq had to go tell his mom what was going on.
I did what I had to do. I hope you understand. Everything's gonna be okay.
Tariq, what are you talking about?
Time to finish this. Let's go.
So Tariq tells Tasha what's happening, and she jumps into action, and she's going to pay a visit to Angie just to make sure things went over smoothly with this conversation. Or was it a conversation? What is she walking in on? She went to find out. And that's when we find out that Tariq, in fact, master plan was to blame everything on King Slime, right? He got the connection. King Slime worked at the club. He also had a connection with Ray Ray. He's been spotted. He knows Ray Ray, right? Been spotted with Ray Ray. So they put everything on King Slime. He murdered Ray Ray. He was selling drugs in the club. He was doing all of these nefarious activities, and it works.
Okay, here's everything I have on Andre Coleman.
You want the truth? Andre Coleman, he's in with the cartel.
You saying he's distributing for them?
More than that. They wanted to move product through the clubs. Andre said he could make it invisible, VIP rooms, cash-only bar.
So King Slime gets arrested.
Don't play with me, Dre. You see his face? Tell me where he is and what you did with the shipment.
You think leaning in is gonna scare me? I'm not the one you should worry about. Keep pushing, you'll find out.
And let me know in the comments, do you think King Slime is going to be a rat again? Let me know. Now, we're almost to the end of this episode. By the time Tasha gets to Angela's house, she sees a hit squad coming in there. The Jimenez, like I said, Alicia is not playing. Anybody who ever thought that they were going to do anything to bring harm to her organization, she is pressing. She runs up in Angela's apartment. And Poppy doesn't make it. We got a pack. On Power Ultimate. Poppy does not make it. Simultaneously, she receives this card in her office. You know, she's finally off from under the investigation, and she received this card. We all know what this card means. And finally, all while this is happening, in prison, Lorenzo Tejada ends up getting stabbed up. You know, he put up a good fight, but he ended up getting stabbed up. And there you have it. End credits. That's episode 2. Look to the east. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. How are you enjoying Power Alternate? And also, what's your rating for episode 2? Is this your first time coming across the page? Lock into the real. You know the deal. Like, subscribe. You already know the vibe. It's the TVC press tour. And I'm about to slide, man. Peace.
Lost without you. The big review. Go like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Lost without you.